The following is a production of TeamBoydTV.com. The Black and Blue Podcast.
We're rolling hard and we're heading to the house just to get a taste of the Carolina pride. We're rolling, 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 rolling. 995, 77 South. We're rolling hard and we're heading to the house just to get a taste of the Carolina pride. We're rolling, rolling, rolling.
What's going on, everybody? What's happening? What's happening? It's your boy. It's your boy Big Q. I'm back. This is the Black and Blue Podcast. This is like not really like a complete episode. I think I just wanted to come on here and I wanted to kind of just I don't know, kind of catch up with y'all, you know, because I ain't really seen y'all in a while, and you know, I thought it would be dope to, you know, we getting ready for the season, so I feel it would really be dope to kind of, you know, put a little something out to see where we at. You know, we just came off the draft. You know, as a Panther fan, I feel pretty good about what went down in the draft. I think it kind of went the way I wanted it to go. You know, plus or minus like one or two things, but other than that, I thought it was a pretty decent draft. I thought Carolina did a really, really good job in the draft. We'll talk about that for a few minutes. I got a little bit of time to kill. Also, we'll take a little outlook at how I feel about going into the season. And all this kind of stuff. So I don't know, man. It's just me trying to get myself back into football mode. I miss you guys. I miss actually hanging out with my homies. You know, on TeamBoydTV. Like, shout out to the homie Glass from Get With The Sports, my brother JB, and the whole TeamBoydTV camp. Aries Falcon is in the building. What's going on, Chief? He said y'all did okay in the draft. I think we did pretty good. I think Atlanta did all right as well. The draft seemed like the talent kind of, well, some stuff that happened early in the draft, like the first 4 picks, a little questionable. Well, maybe not in New York, but you know, Cleveland. I don't know, but that's a different conversation for when me and the fellas get together. Today, I'm just here to talk about my Carolina Panthers a little bit, and that kind of thing. So I don't know. You know, thinking about the way Carolina's been treating their wide receivers for the past 4 years, we can't get a decent core to stick together. You know, and then the 1 year that we did extremely well when we made that unbelievable run to the Super Bowl, we lost just 1 game to the Atlanta Falcons, and of course the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't really have any wide receivers to really, you know, brag to mom about. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, it was weird. It's a weird situation. But now, when we did have a decent core, with, you know, people say, oh, we say some names. Here's some names like Ted Ginn and Philly Brown and, you know, Cotry and people like that. We didn't really muster a lot of good stuff. But, you know, last season, I will say was, you know, as far as wide receiver core is concerned, it was pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was pretty bad. And, you know, dealing away Kelvin Benjamin, which I still feel some type of way. I know some Panther fans say it was a good thing. Kelvin Benjamin went hit, no nothing, no way. He didn't really make a splash when he went to Baltimore. Anyway, I just felt like he didn't really get a chance to. Reset. And don't you? Hey, look, I know you would never let me live that. You'd never let me live that down. And I ain't ashamed about it. Look, because I was, like I told you, I was there. I went the one game that I went to that season. The team lost, you know, but that's a different story for a different day. I'm glad you're still getting a kick out of it. You know what I'm saying? So, Panthers got FSU 23 is in the building. What's going on, homie? Haynes, same size and speed as Von Miller. You know, that's what I'm saying. Because, of course, we got the whole, we're going to be missing Thomas Davis for the first quarter of the season, which I wasn't worried about. I kind of figured that I'm getting ahead of myself. I figured that Shaq would step up in that role. And then you got some, you know, Dontari Pope. You got other moving parts on the defense. I think they're going to be fine. Jackson and Golden going to help big time. Absolutely. So I was just worried about 2 parts. I was worried about how they was going to get the wide receivers in a situation that works. You know what I mean? He says Panthers got FSU, so we got too many wide receivers now. And where it is, Panthers not done there. Man, I hope they are. You know what I mean? Because I know the rookie from last year, he's coming back. He should be healthy, if I'm not mistaken. You got Funches. You got the new rookie. You got didn't they bring in the guy? What was his name? Who they brought in for agents? I forget what his name was. That quick, it was right on the tip of my tongue. He used to play for my brother's Baltimore Ravens team. But so yeah, they bringing out all this. But I think that's a good thing though, because training camp, if you got more wide receivers than you actually need, then that means that people are gonna have to step their game up to get on the team. So that means everybody can't be mediocre. You got to have somebody that stand out. Unfortunately, that spells, because if the competition is going to be as thick as I think, Torrey Smith, absolutely. AA Sports No Shades. I hope there's Uncle Hate, because I wanted to say before I got caught into the conversation that going forward when I start doing these Black and Blue podcasts, I want to make sure Uncle Hate is one of the first guests on the show. I also want to get because it's my fellow Panther brethren, got to get my boy Patco Train up in here, some other people, Panthers guy, and some other folk. We'll get it popping, and we'll have plenty of content to help us get ready for the season. But then I was looking at the schedule was released, and I saw we had the NFC East and was the NFC North, is that right? Oh, it's Diego. What's happening, Diego? What's going on, Diego? Look, your boys, them Niners. But again, we'll get into that stuff when we all get together. We all get together and we'll talk about the draft as a unit. All of us will get together and we'll talk about that, since everybody got these separate teams and stuff. And we'll make sure we do that in the next week or two. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Hate is still somewhere searching for y'all the first and second down back. Listen, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one thing I'm looking at the draft, and I was like, oh, okay. I was glad. I knew that, probably a wide receiver was probably going to be the first pick, unless it was an outstanding secondary player, sitting there. But by the time our pick came around, I don't think a receiver had went off the board yet. I don't think. So we had every receiver in the draft to pick from, you know what I mean? So obviously we got the best one. So that's gonna be good. I don't know. I haven't really dug into Moore's tape yet, and I'm probably not gonna really get real deep into it. I'm probably gonna just look at some video that people suggest to me, like who hit me up on Twitter. They might show me some tape or whatever. But I ain't gonna dig through all the tape. But from what I heard, he seemed like he'll be. Especially, you got Smitty gushing about him and stuff, and for the things that Smitty was saying, that kind of surprised me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But the running back position, man, wow. So look, and I'm gonna say it. I know, and Hate ain't here to really dispute it, because normally if he was here, he would dispute this. About the running back, about Christian McCaffrey, and people who know me, y'all know how I feel about CMC. I think the dude is upside is ridiculous, right? I think his upside is crazy, but as a every down or 3 down back coming out of the backfield, going through running through the tackle, it ain't working for me, man. I watched him struggle all last season, and I ain't gonna say it was him who was struggling. Maybe the positions and the plays that were calling for him, and the play calling and the positions that were putting him in. He couldn't really thrive the way a lot of people. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know exactly what they saw in him, though. I know a lot of Panther fans may disagree with me, and they probably want to put my head on the spike for saying this, but what is so great about Christian McCaffrey? I was hoping that we would get something great in the draft. I figured RB1 or would kind of show up somewhere. Or we're able to do something in free agency to grab somebody from somewhere, if they were going to show Stewart the door, right? Because I was like, oh, they done with Stewart. That's surprising. They must be either going to be putting a lot of faith in Whitaker, putting a lot of faith in CMC. I know Christian McCaffrey is pretty popular around here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm probably one of the few people in the city who don't really, it's not real high on Christian. I'm just not. You know what I mean? When I think of, and y'all can follow me on this, but when I think about running backs who've actually won a Super Bowl, I can't think of no little finesse running back holding up the Lombardi Trophy. I think of people like, Jerome Bettis and Ahmad Bradshaw and the running back in New York that was there before him, and, Terrell Davis and, Marshawn Lynch. Bruiser backs, not little finesse jumping bean running backs who got to have space and this, that, and the third. I don't know, because I don't know. Mr. T Money 1993 is in the building. I just cannot. I'm racking my brain. Me and Vernon was talking about this. I was like, name me a running back, a little finesse running back who has won a Super Bowl. You know, and I can't think of one. I don't think you can win the Super Bowl with a guy like that. I just don't think you can. Yeah, Brad shows up. He was still a bruiser style back though. His running style, you know what I mean. He wasn't no I need space. He wasn't no running no Reggie Bush style, running back. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird to me. Deion Lewis, James White. See James, but see okay. So let me rephrase it. Not size. Let's talk about style. How about style? And Marshall Faulk wasn't a space guy. He ran tough. You know what I'm saying? Like, so let's rephrase it. Let's rephrase it. Okay. Let's talk about running style versus size. You know what I'm saying? CMC does fit our offense. You crazy? He balled out. Like, did he? Did he really though? Did he really ball out? I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, he had a few touchdowns. He brought some excitement to the offense, but it was mostly like receiving touchdowns and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. It's just me. Maybe it's just me. But when I look at him, I was happy. Okay, let me rephrase that too, because I ain't gonna say I was happy with Stewart, because it was a bunch of drop, putting the ball on the ground at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of that going on. I was a huge fan of Michael Tober. He never gonna be your 3 down. Every down guy. He's never going to be that guy. But he was great. I liked him. You know what I mean? Panthers got FSU said we have Norv now, so offense is going to totally be different, along with more playmakers. I can't wait. I'm excited too. It's just the RB is a little suspect at the moment. I liked Whitaker. Whitaker has always been a decent back in my opinion. I don't know if he's still around. Everybody was talking about the other guy, the one who didn't really play that much last season. What am I thinking about? Artist Payne. I don't know. See, I ain't really seen enough of him last season to really. I saw him a lot more the season before than I saw last year. Eric fucking said, I don't see CMC taking the load 25, 30 carries a game. T-Man said Stewart did most East and West running I ever seen him do. Well, yeah, and he was running down. I mean, dude was on the team for a long time. You know what I mean? It's just, and for me, some of the games that she shined in, he was pretty much taking that thing up the middle and putting the team on his back. But it's just, he put the ball on the ground way too much. I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't see, when Carolina was at their best, they had the running game was on point. And I ain't talking about running it through Cam Newton, because that's obviously something that we got to get away from. You know what I mean? That's obviously something that we can't continue to do that. You know what I mean? Even though that was cool. I mean, but your quarterback can't be the best running back on the team. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, I don't think your running back. I mean, your quarterback can be the best running back on the team. That just don't make a whole lot. I don't know how much distance you can get out of that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think 2015 is probably about as far as that was gonna go. You know what I mean? I think we saw how far that could go. CMC is a scat back and will play slot. CMC is a Swiss Army knife, not a power back, and will be used a certain way. Look, I hope so, because from what I saw, they couldn't figure that out. They couldn't figure that out last season. I saw him line up here, saw him line up there, saw him trying to do end arounds, saw him trying to be in the slot. I saw him line up wide. I saw him do all kind of stuff, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Every once in a while you would catch the defense on their heels, and it works. But for the most part, I don't think so, man. I need me a Le'Veon Bell type cat. I need me, Leonard Fournette. So I need somebody who you can give the ball to 25, 30 times a game and let him do it. You know what I mean? And I know it's hard and maybe that's what CMC's issue was. Maybe because the receivers were so bad that it couldn't open up the running game, because obviously Cam didn't have a whole lot of yards last year either. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe let's look at it that way. You know what I mean? So I don't know. What do you guys think about? Let's talk about the rookies that they brought in. DJ Moore, right? So we talked about the wide receiver for a little bit. I thought that the thing Cap is the guy to be the bowling ball, he would get a shot. I hope so. Tim Hunter said Cam and Russ been best runners on their team for a minute. I know, and you can't do it, man. That ain't gonna work. So I'm sitting there watching the draft the first day, and I was like, okay, well, if all the wide receivers are on the board at we're at 28, 24, whenever our pick was, I don't know, Alfred Morris, do we still got tread on the tire? I mean, I like him. I mean, every team he didn't play on, I thought he contributed. I thought he did pretty good. But I don't know. Do you think he still got some tread on that thing? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I like him. I like Alfred Morris. I do. But yeah, I was sitting there, and I was like, okay, we got every wide receiver, so they obviously gonna get the best wide receiver in the group. That's gonna be great. But then I was like, and I think somebody on Twitter, I think I want to say it was either Diego or it was Uncle Hayden. It was somebody from AA Sports. Was like, yo, how y'all feel about your first rounder and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, DeMarco, yes, absolutely. If he still got trying on the tire, is he still in the league? I don't know. Somebody like him, because he was in Tennessee for last time I checked, right? But yeah, and I was like, well, the next move should be secondary, right? Because Lord have mercy, the Carolina Panthers secondary. Oh my God, I don't even want to. I mean, I'm just sitting there thinking about how they got abused and taken advantage of, especially by Drew Brees. Especially by Matt freaking Ryan, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, it was, oh goodness, I'm just thinking about it. And I was like, well, I was that guy who stood up for the Panthers when they didn't bring, whatever that little dude's name is who playing in Washington now, when they didn't bring him back to the team. I was that dude who was like, I stood by the Panthers, like, whatever, we don't really need no Josh Norman. I was that guy. Right, I was like, it's gonna be fine, Josh Norman, whatever. Yeah, it's just one guy, and yeah, you know what I mean. So now, a couple years removed, I'm like, okay, well, maybe he wasn't as good as everybody made him out to be, but he did pretty much, say he had some stigma, some aura about him where his presence on the field, it definitely made a difference. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it did, but the secondary ain't been the same since. And I was like, well, you can bring in some veterans, which I thought would have been a really nice thing to do. But I guess we're gonna stay with rookies back there, which is just it's still scary to me. You know what I'm saying? It's still super scary to me. I don't know. But I'm glad that they're beefing it up though, so that's a good thing. So as we going into off season workouts and all this stuff as we get ready to head into that stuff, I think it's going to be a good thing to watch. What's going to happen to the wide receivers and who's going to emerge, right? Because a lot of them on the squad at the moment. I'm interested to see what happens in the running back situation. What's going to happen there? Is somebody going to come in late, or is somebody going to rise from the ranks and take that number one spot and be that running back that the Carolina Panthers need? Cam Newton, tweeting out thank you and stuff, like, I don't know. I don't even know how I felt about that. I mean, it seemed like he made it seem like we had the dog worst wide receivers in the league and stuff. It's like, finally I get some help, and I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Jano had that dog. Yeah, he did, man. And I told you, well, and Tim, you've been following me for a while. I was sitting there, I was that guy. I was like, yo, whatever. We don't really need no Josh Norman, and I was, and I admit it. I will admit it that I was wrong about that. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, the way we got done in our own division, and the way our secondary got done in our own division was a shame. You know what I'm saying? So it was bad. You know what I mean? So D-Jack seems to have it. I hope so, man. I'm looking at some of the stats from some of these new guys they brought in, and I don't know who I think, as far as these secondary players are concerned, who would have the greatest impact right off the bat. I think I would have to kind of see some stuff in preseason, because I don't know. I mean, like, a lot of people, just like with 13, what was his name? I forgot his name. I don't know. See, I ain't even in full season mode yet. The wide receiver. What's his name? The one we shipped off to Buffalo. But anyway, like I was watching his college tapes and stuff, and everybody was excited about him when he first came in. But then I'm gonna tell you, like, I started seeing stuff like when I saw him play, how he was big and he would be able to bring the ball down, but that was the end of the play. Very rarely I would see him get any yards after the catch and things. So like these guys, going from the college game to the pro game, I need to see some other. I mean, because look, you do some outstanding stuff on your college tape. I think it's dope, but I got to see what you do in the pro game. So I'm waiting to see some preseason stuff to see how that's going to translate, especially for these linebackers they brought in and stuff like that. Because I'm pretty sure. Well, I guess it's an opening there because we still got to deal with the whole Thomas Davis thing, which like I said earlier, I feel like Shaq but we're feeling because he'd been in the defense for a little bit. He's so I think I honestly think this is a good thing for him because he really get a chance to play more and get to Kelvin Ben. Yes, he get to show what he really. I mean, I think we all pretty much know that he's going to be like the heir apparent. I think him and Luke together. Once Davis is completely done, you know what I mean. I think we feel good about that. You know what I'm saying? It's just now he'll get to solidify that. You know what I mean? And I think so. He said, watch the end of Auburn versus ISU from last year. Okay. Again, like I said, T-Money, it's crazy. Like, you see that, just like, okay, I'm going to give you a prime example of what I'm talking about. Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel is a prime example of seeing spectacular stuff on college tape. And then you bring him to the pro game, and it's a different story. How scared are you? Look, I'm gonna tell you something about Luke. See, it's a weird thing, man, because the defense pretty much. I mean, like and like when them times that Luke was not around, you know how the team kind of play, and the defense kind of flow through him a little bit and stuff like that. And. It's rough, man. But you know what? You can't play that position. You can't play that position worrying about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the type of cat that when he turned it on, he just between the whistles, man. He's just thinking about the game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he worrying about getting hurt. And I think that's probably one of his problems. You know what I mean? But I'm a little bit nervous about it though. Because as we go along and as we get further and further into his career, competition is getting better and better and better, and I'm worried about him. But of course, they just give him bigger helmets like they did with some of them Denver players back in the day. You know what I'm saying? They'll make sure he's straight. Then T-Money said Johnny Manziel made it to the NFL because of Mike Evans. Well, okay, it's just I'm just saying. That's why they picked up 3 linebackers. Well, because of Luke. You think they worried about Luke, or they was just worried about Davis not being able to really, 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 like, once he come back from suspension, is he really going to be really ready to go? You know what I mean? Like, and I mean the Thomas Davis discussion is a discussion for that we're gonna have on a different day. But if he was doing things to kind of keep in step, then I ain't trying to say he was guilty or nothing. I'm just saying, maybe that was one of the reasons. Maybe we don't know about Luke Kuechly. Davis, he was already threatening to retire, so now he on some other stuff, and we got to sit him down because of some, illegal substances. So we don't know where we're gonna be. So let's just get some linebackers up in this piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Right, both, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So, it's crazy, man. And then but beyond all that, you still got the team being up for sale and the owner, and it's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now. And so I'm like the players. I just want to see the season start. I don't want to think about Thomas Davis's suspension or the team being up for sale and all this other stuff that's going on. I don't want to think about that. I just want to think about getting the season going, and because wouldn't it be something, right? Wouldn't it be something if the team could actually get the job done during this transition, between Richardson and whoever the new owners are going to be? Like, the first 2 times we couldn't get it done, but now during this transition we get it done. You know what I mean? But I doubt if the team will still be up for sale by the time the season is over. Hopefully they'll be able to nail that whole situation by the time we get to the end of the season. I don't think it's going to be solidified before the season starts, though. Pencils guy says, I like the linebackers they picked up. Got mad depth now too, and cover that if something happens. Absolutely. T-Man said for the first 4 games to play in Shaq's spot rather than Mayo or Norris. Okay, yeah. I mean, look, Turner and them, they covered their asses though. They did though. They was like, we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what like anything can happen. Especially with Luke and Lord have mercy. I hope I hope he can get through the season without nothing crazy happening. It's just that how disappointed would you guys as Panther fans be if Luke came out there and played at half speed, or he was taking it easy or whatever. That wouldn't. I don't know. So you gotta prepare for that, because either he gonna have to change his play style some kind of way, or he gonna have to sit down. And either way, we need somebody to fill that spot. It's a shame though that he concussion prone. I don't like that, because that dude is a monster. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. It's weird. But so, how do I feel about where we at right now? I mean, it's still very, very early. It's really, and it's a lot of crazy stuff swirling around the team right now. I'm gonna say this, right? I'm ready to see something, but I'm not like I was 2014, right? Was it 2014? It's 2014. I was super excited, and then we got a little bit of a letdown. But then 2015, I didn't really expect much, and then I got more than I expected. So, and I'm kind of feeling like I felt in 2015. I'm not expecting a whole lot, because it looked like. It don't look like, because how they loaded up in 2014. They brought in all these people in 2014, like they were just rolling the dice saying, look, we got to do it right now. We got to do it right now. Obviously, it didn't happen. It didn't happen to the year after that. But, what I'm saying, they kind of proved to me, bringing in all these free agents and stuff, that they were really wanting to make it past the wild card round in the playoffs, and, so... I kind of feel like the year after that, because like in 2015, I remember around this time in 2015, I was coming on here, but I think I came on right before the draft. I was saying how I wasn't really worrying about the draft too much, because Carolina was in a good place. So, they could pick whatever and be straight, because they had a lot of their bases covered at that time. But now we got holes in the offensive line, and I'm worried about that situation, which did not get addressed in the draft, right? And it didn't get addressed during free agency. So we got to still come to play with that same offensive line that we had, to finish the season up last year. And ain't nobody talking about that, but that's what's happening right now. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of expectations, but I do expect with what they got going on right now with the talent that they have brought in. The free agents that they have signed, I think that they shouldn't have no less than a 10-win season. I think anything less than a 10-win season is complete failure. I don't want this backdoor tiptoeing into the playoffs. None of that nonsense. I think they are poised with the schedule that they got, the teams that they got on the schedule, the talent that they have right now. They should win 10 games. Then KB told us ACL before 2015 and people was in panic mode. Yeah, and I was one of the ones, right? I was one of the ones too. I was like, oh my God. But and it's weird, because I'm telling you, that was the season where I didn't really expect much. I didn't expect much out of the team that season. I expected them to win, between, 10 and 12 games, but I didn't expect what I got, you know what I'm saying? So and with KB going down that early in the season and all that. So, it was weird. So I kind of feel like that now. I feel like, okay, well, I'm expecting them to have a decent season, right? But until that spark get lit, until it, and I'm thinking we probably won't see that until like week 5 or 6. That spark get lit and they catch fire like they did in 2015. And I think it was the Seattle Seahawks game that season that kind of really lit it for them. I think they were winning. They won the first couple games or whatever. And I think it was like week 4 or week 5. Something like that. I think it was maybe the week after the bye. I think we had an early bye that year or something like that. And I think the Seahawks were the roadblock. And when everybody was saying if they can win this game against Seattle, because Seattle done beat them like 3 or 4 times in a row, if they can win this game, NC Link, then the door is wide open for Carolina to do whatever they want to do. So and they won that game, and I was like, oh my God! And then they went on this ridiculous run, only to get and everybody know how it ended. So, but I thought that was dope, and I feel that way this season. So, but the only thing I need to see is that spark get lit. You know what I'm saying? Because once that spark get lit, and Cam kind of gets into that mode, and when he start feeling invincible, and you know how they go. It spread to the rest of the team. Like however he feeling, that's the way they feel. And when they all feeling like that, it's hard to beat Carolina. It really is. But that spark got to get lit somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I'm expecting 10 wins though. And anything, I'll tell you, if anything less than that, like if we lose 4 games before week 10 or week 12, then to me the season is over. You know what I mean? Because with what Atlanta is gearing up for, and when every year I give Tampa all these high grades and they always let me down. So. I don't know. It's like Tampa's a question mark for me. New Orleans, like I really didn't give them that much of a shot last season, and they beat the brakes off of us, right? 3 times last season. So, the division ain't no walk in the park no more. And, we used to go walking around beating our chests because, we won it 3 times in a row. And it's different now. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta earn everything in this division. There ain't nothing to give it no more. So, we got to win a division. We got to do better than we did last season in the division. You know what I mean? Because our performance in the division last year, it was horrible. You know what I mean? So, like, we can't do that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And as we get like I said, once they get to camp, and once we start seeing them run around and stuff, and once we start seeing really how a lot of these new players are adapting to the program, and how these new players are adjusting to being on the team with these other players, and and honestly, I'm gonna tell you, no matter if all that stuff goes the way we want it to go, at the end of the day, Tampa taking via over Duran James head stretching. What? Tampa taking via over Duran James head scratching. I don't know. But what I was saying was at the end of the day, we got to figure out what's going on with Cam though, because last time we saw Cam wasn't in a good place, and he was like, he wasn't really directly like, saying, I need some help and can you give me some better play. He wasn't saying that out loud and directly, but he was kind of doing that, you know what I'm saying? So like Cam wasn't in a good place last time we saw him. So I don't know. It depends on where his head is at, what's going on with him, if he ready to really do it. I think, Carolina is due. They've been knocking on the door for the last couple seasons. They've been knocking on the door. They've been right there. Sometimes the stuff went in Carolina's favor. A lot of times the ball bounced the other way. But now you can't depend on that. You got to come and be sharp because the division that caught up with you. Atlanta just been recently, they've been in the Super Bowl and going on. So the New Orleans was right there knocking on the door last season. It's rough, man. Tampa in the first round. Oh, okay. I don't even know if I must have been, outside or something during that time. I didn't really see, but I know this much. I know that, ain't nothing given in the NFC South no more. I know that much. I mean, Tampa might be the weakest link at this particular juncture. And at this point in the season, Tampa might be the weakest link. But, again, you look at Tampa on paper, they got everything that they need. You know what I mean? I just don't, again, they kind of like us where things kind of flow through the quarterback. If Winston is on and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, they can light it up. But, they catch a lot of bad breaks. I just know Atlanta and New Orleans ain't really ready to be walked over. They're not going to just let Carolina do what Carolina want to do. I don't want to know. He's talking about the DT Vita Vea from Washington. Oh, okay. Because I was like, what does it mean? Yeah, okay. So, I don't know. It's just this is going to be, well, Panthers guy says, Panthers guy said the season's going to be fun, boost the asses. Look, I'm going to tell you why I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun because we got to deal, like, last time we had to face the Super Bowl champions, which I think was in 2015. I think that's the season we went on that run when we beat the New England Patriots. I want to say that's right. I don't know. But now we got the Super Bowl champions coming in here, right? We got that. So we got the NFC East, which I think is amazing because we usually have a pretty good time with them, except for Philadelphia. Philadelphia usually kind of give us a little bit of a hard time. I don't think we're gonna beat them the last couple of times we played them. I think we lost to them twice the last couple of times. But we always knock Washington's teeth out. Beat Dallas down all the time. You know what I'm saying? So in New York, I mean, please, last time they came here, I remember I was at that game. And they couldn't even score a single point on us. I think Eli Manning got sacked 11 times in that game, something like that. But I was there. I remember that. But yeah, so I think that's great. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's gonna be fun just to watch those games, and stuff like that. Got Detroit. I think the anomalies are Detroit and Seattle again. I think this year. I think that's right. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I think it's Detroit and. We beat the Patriots 2013 and 2017. Okay, so it's 2013. Was 2013 the Luke Kuechly in the end zone deal? They don't seem like it was that long ago. I don't know, T-Money. I don't know about that. Steve Smith, this is what Jaffe said. Steve Smith said, Carolina never replaced me into this draft. With this draft pick, do you agree? Tampa coaches suck. Take it from me. Dirk can't call good 4 quarters and Mike Smith. Look, okay, this is what I'm saying about the whole DJ Moore, Steve Smith thing. Listen. Steve Smith is a lot of things. Okay. Steve Smith he's a braggadocious loudmouth. He's a little bit over the top, right? But he knew what his value was to this team. He knew that, and just like, us as fans, we know it too. Maybe they get him and didn't, and really didn't care. Who knows what that story really was. But if he co-signed DJ Moore like that, because, the dude gave Carolina Panthers, was it 11, 13 seasons of his life, put up most of his stats, and basically Carolina is going to be one of the reasons why he ended up going to the Hall of Fame, this kind of thing. So I think if he co-signed that, if he said that, that dude is a Steve Smith replacement that they've been looking for the past 4 seasons, I got to agree with him. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's a better co-sign than Cam texting or tweeting thank you. I think Steve Smith's co-sign was better than Cam's, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? 2013, Luke on Gronk, and I was like, God, that was 2013. God, it really doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Oh my God. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so, damn, that's a long time ago. That's like 5 years ago. Wow. Yeah, so I don't know, but this a fun schedule that we got. I think that it should be fun. Panthers only team in the NFC South to beat Pats last season. Last season? Well, hold on. See, I'm trying to. Okay, because Panthers got you. Carolina. So the Carolina beat them last. Oh, they wasn't Super Bowl champions then, though, right? Is that what you're saying, T-Money? That when we beat them last year, but they weren't Super Bowl champions. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Cam never lost to Brady. Okay. Well, whatever. Because it was. That's right. Because he was suspended, right? Is that what happened? Right? Okay. That's right. Yeah, because I could have sworn that we played them a lot more closer, than 2013. I thought that was a long time ago. But okay, cool. So Smitty was overweight with a knee injury at that time. Oh, okay. But either way, I feel like if he felt that way about Moore, it's a good look. You know what I'm saying? That must mean that he was really impressed. Because, according to Steve Smith, he's the best wide receiver on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So, if he's saying that, then, you know what I'm saying? Okay, all right, cool. That's good stuff. Cam's 2-0 versus the Pats. There you go. All right. Okay, that's right, because Team Win just said 2013 and 2017, right? That's what he said? Okay. All right, cool. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But what I want to know what you guys think. You guys think... y'all guys think we got a shot? I mean, look, I think we can navigate through the regular season and be okay. I'm thinking about potential playoff teams. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of craziness going on out west with San Francisco and Los Angeles Rams. A lot of. I mean, I don't know what to think about that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, because. The last couple games that the Niners played, since they brought in, Jimmy Garoppolo or whatever, they kind of finished up, undefeated or whatever. It was a good look, and it was a good thing for them to end the season that way. made some other moves and stuff, but you can't deny what they was doing in LA with the Rams. They got me nervous because look, I said this last season. Me and JB, we debated it for a little bit, but I was for sure that the Rams were going to do like crazy damage in the playoffs, and that didn't turn out to be true. So it really depends. I just think that we may see Green Bay come back to form this season. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about what's going on out west. I'm thinking about Green Bay coming back into the fold. You still got to worry about the Vikings, right? But then they got quarterback situation, which I don't understand what happened. But again, that's something that we'll talk about as we get closer to the season. But the playoffs on the NFC side gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough. T-Man says Saints and Rams the only teams in playoffs I would worry about. The Saints. I don't know, and you know what? I can't really disagree because you know what? I was for sure. I was like, okay, look, we got swept during the regular season by the Saints. I was like, it ain't too often that divisional rivals play each other 3 times. You don't really see it all that often. The most of the time you see it is usually in the NFC North where you usually see that kind of action happen. But I was like, ain't no way that we gonna lose to them in the playoffs, right? And wow, I was disappointed. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to crap all over the Saints this early. I'm not going to do it. I got to wait till like week 6 when they done drop 3 games, and then we'll see. Then we'll talk. You know what I'm saying? But it's either way. I think you're right. Saints, Rams, but you don't think Minnesota got a shot? Philly. Look, they're the Super Bowl champions. You know what I'm saying? You got Philly's the Super Bowl champions, man. You know what I'm saying? Had Aints beat in the playoffs, man. Come on, Clay and Fun. Well, it was a rough one, man. And I ain't gonna just to put it on Clay and Funches. Cam was throwing some errant stuff in that game. It was crazy, but either way, they end up winning. So that's what it was at the end of the day. Had them beat and played like shit. Oh well, boost the asses. This shit can't wait. Hey, listen, I'm with you, man, and I love your optimism. And look, you was even super optimistic when we was going through that spell last season when everybody was acting like it was the end of the world. You were still there. I remember you being in the chat saying, "Look, don't worry about it. Carolina going to be okay." Your optimism is through the roof, and I love it. But I don't know. I just I know I feel like we will get through the regular season without a problem. Minnesota's a softer version. I said that last. I said that last season, and the dudes ate me alive for saying that it was soft. You know what I'm saying? Eagles depend on Wentz's health. Yeah, I'm actually still super surprised that they got that done with Nick Foles last year. The end of last season is so it was weird to me. Like, oh my god, that was something crazy. But anyway, that's another conversation that we can have when we all get together for some other stuff. So. But I don't know, man. But you got them. You got the Eagles. I ain't really worried about nobody else in that division. It's just, maybe Dallas would get right because they had some issues last year, with the suspensions and all that stuff and weird stuff like that. And maybe, a lot of people were saying that, the Dallas quarterback is who we thought he was and so on and so forth. I ain't ready to do that yet. I think Prescott is a decent quarterback. I think it was just too much other stuff going on. During that time for it was just weird for them, you know what I mean? But Philly though, look, even if if the quarterback struggle a little bit, they still got some hellified defense. They got talent on that team. So if they won a freaking Super Bowl with Nick Foles, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know what I mean? So I don't know. As we get closer and closer, I'm getting a little bit more excited, but I just want to sit back and look at some preseason games. I think me and my brother JB, we will be at both preseason games this season. We only went to one of them last year, but we'll be at both of them this year. So if anybody is in the town, y'all want to holler at me. That's where I'll be. I'll be at both preseason games and stuff like that. So Dallas need perimeter playmakers. Well, they're gonna need something because they got rid of Dez and all that stuff. So I don't know, and then I heard some crazy conversation the other day about Dez coming to Carolina. I don't even want to entertain that, I don't want to do it. But anyway, this was like my little tune-up Black and Blue podcast. Like I just kind of threw together a little stage and a little set real quick and did all that. But really, I ain't really ready to unveil all the stuff that we got planned so far. But I got some things that we're gonna do special this season and all the Team Boyd TV. So everything gonna be completely different than what we used to been doing. I hope you guys like what we got planned. It should be dope. We're doing some joint ventures with some other people. That should be amazing when it all goes down. I cannot wait for it. More interactions and more content being provided by some of those people and teams looking for more stuff from JB, more stuff from Vernie, Glass, and so on and so forth. Plenty of brand new stuff. The plan that we got laid out is amazing. Should be great. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming out and chatting with me for a little bit, man. I just wanted to kind of, see where everybody's head was at. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all coming through and hollering at your boy. And T-Money said not with the DJ Moore pick. That's dead. I hope so, because that conversation was whack, and I was like, oh, that's what y'all talking about? I ain't even gonna entertain that. You know what I mean? But y'all guys been dope, man, and I will holler at y'all on the flip. Hopefully I'll be able to have some people on here. Like I said, I've been reaching out to a couple of my Panther fam, and I'm gonna try to put together some stuff, and we'll sit around and we'll chop up some stuff. Hopefully over the next couple of weeks I'll have a couple different people on here, and I want to do a big round table discussion with a bunch of Panther people too. So check your Twitters and stuff, man. I will be reaching out to y'all, and I can hopefully I better put something together for y'all next week. Y'all take it easy. I'm out of here. Peace.
The following is a production of TeamBoydTV.com. The Black and Blue Podcast.